So if you've been watching my channel lately, I recently made a video about how I recently failed. I did some impulsive shopping because I was all excited about a trip to Europe we're gonna take, and I ended up buying a few things that really I should not have bought. I don't know, I wanna be real about that, but I also genuinely need some refocusing. I need to get back on track with my journey toward minimalism. And I thought maybe just having a real chat about what the benefits of minimalism are could help motivate me, selfishly. But also it might help you out too. Because even though lately I've had some slip ups, I have to say that since I started decluttering several years ago, I have seen some major changes. And taking a little time to enjoy those changes, revel in them, it helps boost my own motivation. And I know there are some bigger picture benefits of minimalism that I talk a lot about. Basically, that when we declutter more, we have more time and space and energy for the more important things in life, maybe deepening relationships or pursuing a goal or dream. And those things are incredibly important and potentially life-changing. But today, I want to step away from those bigger picture lofty goals and just get into the nitty-gritty of what are those little logistical changes that minimalism has made in my life that I didn't really expect or know would happen until I started decluttering. Because I think sometimes even those little changes can make a big impact on the day-to-day lifestyle we have. And so I want to focus on those things that maybe you didn't really think about that might actually change once you start to declutter more. And I'm sure there's some I'm not even aware of because maybe I haven't decluttered enough. So if you have ideas, add those in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Definitely looking for that boost of motivation. I'm going to do a set of these videos, I think, at least 2, maybe 3 or 4 videos focused on this topic. What are those unexpected changes that minimalism has made in my life? So the first one is really a game changer for me, and that is I have transformed from someone who absolutely abhorred cleaning to someone who enjoys it. I never thought I'd say that in a million years. I was the kid growing up with stuff all over my room, pure chaos. I was the one with a messy desk. I was the one that would have to frantically speed clean before friends came over when I was living on my own. Ultimately, I was just messy. I just had stuff everywhere. And actually, I should catch myself. I don't even like calling myself messy because I think sometimes the labels we put on ourselves are just not helpful. But let's be real. I was messy on average. Since I started decluttering, basically what naturally started to happen is I noticed that the tidying and then the cleaning after that became easier. And then because it was easier, I took more joy and pride in it. And I could get to the actual physical cleaning part, not just the tidying part, sooner. And then I could even do a better job at the cleaning part. So when I got to the point where I'm sweeping, mopping, wiping off counters, that kind of thing, I could be more perfectionistic about it. Not in an overly intense way, but just in a way where I was taking pride in the sparkly, squeaky clean nature of my kitchen or my entryway or whatever. And so basically because it became easier, I was more consistently successful at it. And when you're better at something, you just enjoy it more. And what's weird is I've gotten to the point where I genuinely sometimes will turn to cleaning when I'm stressed out. I see it as almost a reliever of stress. Not all the time, don't get me wrong, sometimes I'm not in the mood to clean, but sometimes I know if I just spend 10 minutes tidying up and then cleaning off a surface, I will feel better. And I just think that alone, even forget all the other benefits of minimalism, that alone is life altering. Truly, it's made such a difference for me. And that even has rippling effects in other areas of my life of kind of feeling like I'm capable of change, building my own confidence and sense of self-efficacy. That's probably a different benefit I could talk about another time. But just this cleaning factor alone, turning into somebody who kind of likes cleaning, it's a game changer. And it's something that happens naturally once you declutter enough. A second unexpected benefit is that by having less, it's easier to have unexpected guests over. Basically, again, when you have less stuff, it's easier to tidy up quickly to get your home to a place where you can have people over and not be totally embarrassed. And as a result, I find myself inviting people over more often. Realistically, sometimes those last minute get-togethers are the most fun because there's no burden of them. You know, when you have like some kind of event or party in the distant future, it's like you go through these different phases of being excited about it and then kind of slightly dreading it because you're like, oh, it's going to be effort. And then you get excited about it again. Whereas when it's just kind of like in the moment, come on over, you only have to say yes if you really want to, it's just more fun. And so I find that sometimes being able to have a space where I can invite people last minute makes the actual experience of hanging out more fun. Plus, it makes it more affordable. I don't have to go out somewhere to meet up with someone. I have a place that's free right here. And it also just makes it more doable. Now that I have a kid, it's really a lot more effort to go out and to do something in public. Like, it just requires so much planning and preparation and physical energy. But when I can just invite a friend or the family over to my place, it's so much easier. I have everything I need here for my baby, and I don't really need to think about it much. But in general, being able to invite people over more easily with less stress makes the connections I have stronger. It makes it easier to build or deepen relationships. And through that, I think it helps improve my mood and make me feel better and make me feel less isolated and alone. Like recently, I had my parents and Auntie's parents over for a last minute brunch, and we just grabbed some pastries from a local place and I made a little mixed egg scramble, and it was super easy, and we didn't really have to clean much because the place was in decent shape. It was pretty easy, straightforward, and we had a great time. Same with recently, one of Andy's really good friends from med school is interviewing for cardiovascular surgery fellowships, and he needed to fly out of Minneapolis and he was going to spend the night here. So we were just like, hey, why don't you just spend the night at our place? And our place was in good enough shape that I didn't have to do that much to get it to a place where he could stay over in kind of a last minute way. It basically allowed us to be a better friend and to reconnect with this person that doesn't live locally and otherwise we might not have seen. A third benefit, and I think this one is a huge one, is that you have more time to waste. If you've decluttered and you're living with less, it just makes life a little bit easier. If you don't have to spend as much time cleaning and expending all this physical effort, you literally have more time to do things like binge watch your favorite TV show. You have more time to be hedonistic. You have more time to do things that are kind of maybe not the best things to do, but they're just fun. Yes, there is more time for the meaningful connection and spending time with your family and all of that and achieving your dreams. But I'm saying, sometimes it's nice to just have half an hour, a few hours to just do whatever you want. I feel like nobody really talks about that when they talk about minimalism. They're talking about, oh, it opens up your life to more meaningful things. And I talk about that too, so I don't mean to disparage that. But if we're real, sometimes we're not always making best use of all the extra time. But also, let's be real, it is so nice to sometimes just sit on the couch and do nothing and not feel guilty that you need to be doing something. Now, obviously, there's probably always something to feel guilty about that you always need to do. But if your house is in a slightly better state, like if it's not overwhelmingly messy, I swear I feel more recharged from my relaxation time or my kind of wasteful time than if I have a bunch of stuff around me screaming at me that I need to do something about those items. It basically gives you more time to just do whatever you want and not have anybody or anything telling you what to do. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you become an adult and suddenly you have freedom, you're able to do things. And there's a brief period, maybe around college age or so, where you're like, oh wow, I have all this freedom. But then over time you accumulate more and more stuff and you spend more and more time dealing with that stuff. But if you could get back to that place where you don't have to deal with so much all the time, then you can feel like you have more freedom to just do whatever. So those were the 3 unexpected little benefits of minimalism I wanted to talk about today. But I'll keep talking about these because honestly, thinking through this, it's motivating me to want to go out and to declutter more right now. Hopefully it's doing the same for you. Anyway, watch out for part 2 of this video, and that's about it. Thank you so much for spending this little bit of time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.